I was in two minds whether to make this video or not. This actually is for my Asian brothers out there, mainly the Pakistani community. So if you are not familiar with that, then you don't have to watch this video. It's a video that maybe you guys will understand as well if you are not Pakistani, but you live in the UK or live in America or Canada, anywhere where there is a large community of Pakistani migrants like myself. This one might hurt a few people saying this one actually. Car hire on weddings. Seen it so many times. My friends did it. Everyone you know did it. We all did it. I didn't do it. Never done it. Never ever done it. Many people don't know anything about me, but I myself personally don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in this whole Western marriage. There's a lot of Western guys out there as well that don't believe in marriage. I believe in Islam, you can do the nikah and the walima, and that is it. Minimal guests, that is it. I don't believe in this big, extravagant, crazy ass, hate to say it, Hindu cultured weddings. There's nothing wrong with Hindus, but it's their culture. The whole crazy ass, big, celebrity style weddings is something that the princes and the kings and the royals of that era used to do. And the poor people used to look up to the princes and the kings and say, wow, look at this amazing wedding that these guys are having. One day I want to be a queen. One day I want to be a princess. One day I want to be a prince. One day I want to be a king. That's the reality of these weddings. And where they came into the Pakistani community and the Pakistani culture was from, Pakistan used to be India at one point, obviously, if you didn't know that. And when the Hindus used to have these crazy ass big weddings, the Pakistani culture was like, yo, we need to have something very similar. Because prior to that, Islamic weddings weren't that extravagant. If you look at history, you'll see it. They weren't that extravagant. And if you want to follow Islamic scripture, and you can ask any mullah or any scholar out there to tell you this, that they are, well, look, I don't want to say this. I don't want to come across as I'm preaching. This isn't what the video is about. The video isn't about Islam. The video is about that if you do think and you do want to follow Islam the proper way as well, you shouldn't be doing these kind of weddings. Simple as. Now, the thing I'm trying to get at over here is hiring cars. Why you should hire cars or you shouldn't hire cars at weddings. What are you trying to prove and who are you trying to show off to? If you want a big hall, a big wedding venue and invite your 600 guests, by all means, knock yourself out. That's just the culture is. You're feeding people to come and sit and complain about the food. You know, when I go to weddings, and I go to very few weddings, I'll even tell you something. Out of every 10 friends that I have, and I get invited to those 10 weddings, I will narrow it down to 2 weddings. So if I've been to your wedding, then you are very privileged because I don't like going to weddings. I just hate it. And if I do go to your weddings, then it's a very select few people that I've gone to their weddings. And I've only gone to their weddings for one thing, and that is to complain about the food because that's all you're supposed to do at weddings. Asian weddings are only there to go there, to sit down, mingle with the guests and complain about the food and say, she's wearing too much bloody makeup. That's what's going on. Every single Asian bride I've seen, no offense, girls, no offense. I don't mean to offend you when I say this. Please, I know you spend a lot on your makeup, but you look the absolute worst on your wedding day. Guys, you guys are doing all right, but the girls, you need to check yourselves. You need to sack these wedding makeup artists and start doing it yourselves, or just makeup free zone. Easy. Wash your face with a bit of soap and you're good to go. You have attractive girls, there's good looking girls, so many good looking Asian girls out there. Why are you wearing all this cake on your face? I don't get it. You ain't white. I can see your skin color over here. You ain't pasty white. Stop trying to follow the trend of the Western world. That's another topic that I'm going to talk about. But for this one, it's for the lads. So lads, let's say there's a group of 20 guys and you're hiring a Lamborghini each. I've seen this. Now, somebody please help me out here. I'm going to assume for simple maths that a Lamborghini for the weekend is £3,000. Probably more, probably less, but let's say £3,000. And you have 20 friends. I've seen 20 Lambos at a wedding, easy, no problem. In fact, you know what? I'll make it even easier. Fuck it, I'll make it even easier. I'll say 10. There's 10 Lambos at a wedding. And you know and I know there isn't 10 Lambos at a wedding. There's more than 10 Lambos at a wedding. 10 Lambos at a wedding. I've seen Bugattis at a wedding now. Nowadays, I see Bugattis at weddings. You guys are taking it to the next level. Anyway, we're going to talk the 10 Lambo wedding. So you got a 10 Lambo wedding, which is a small wedding, 3 grand each Lambo. That's 30K between your group of friends that you're spending on this guy's wedding. Now, if you are all millionaires and you all have a lot of money, you ain't going to hire the cars, bro. I know people with Ferraris and Porsche Turbos and Rolls Royces. They don't hire the cars. They go rolling in to the wedding. So for anybody who comments below and says, well, we're hiring the cars because we can afford it. No, you can't afford it, bro. Because if you can afford it, you wouldn't hire the car. I'm solely talking about those people who can't really afford the car and they're hiring the car for the weekend to drive, whether it's between 2 lads or 1 car. I don't care. You're still spending money on hiring cars. And I know that because in the Asian community, if you go up and down the country, even in other countries where there's a lot of Pakistanis, majority of, if not all of the Lamborghini owned hire car companies are owned by Pakistanis. Why is that? Why is that? Because they know the audience, they know the people hiring the cars, renting the cars are Pakistanis. Simple as. I don't know about the Indian things. I don't know about the Bangladeshis. I don't know whether they do it. I'm only speaking for myself and what I have seen personally, even with my friends. I never did it though. A lot of my friends did, and I didn't turn up to those weddings. I just didn't really turn up. It didn't really suit me. Now, let me tell you what you could do that's a lot better. Now, I don't really. Back in the days, I would say get a house. 5 years ago, if you asked me, I would say 30K. Pool that money together. Give it your boy as a deposit so he can buy a house. Because that is something that you guys need. If you're going to start a family anywhere in the UK, you're going to at least need a deposit on a house. Many people don't have 30G saving up. And remember, I'm talking about the small 10 Lambo wedding. Some of these are 20 Lambo weddings. That's 60 Gs over there. Someone please help me out here. If it's more or less, please comment down below. But I know for a fact, a Lambo ain't less than £1,000 a day. No one's giving you for less than £1,000 a day, and you got to take it over the weekend. So minimum 3K. That's what I think it is. I might be wrong. 40, 50K, 60K, 30K, whatever, it's a lot of money. Some people just need 10K to get a house deposit. And many people, the reality is, don't even have 10K to save up to get a house deposit. They go on a honeymoon, they come back, she's living with your mum, they're getting shit, whatever's going on. Listen, even if you want to live with your mum, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually push for that. I actually say that I would rather you get married and live with your parents, as traditionally as it's supposed to be. And if you want to go down that road, that's fine. At least get a house and put it on rent. Get a buy-to-let. Have something there. Make sure that your wedding day is something memorable in the sense where not you just got pictures to show for it and a wedding film to show for it. You've now got a house. Your boys who were at that wedding, it's not about, oh, remember so-and-so had a Lambo out and he had the black Rolls Royce and he had... Listen, no one really cares about that. What you could be sat there in 10 years' time and say, listen, bro, I will never forget my friends who came to my wedding and they all chipped in and bought me this deposit. And because of that deposit today, my daughter, my son, my family are all eating. I'm not saying that's like the setup, that is it because of that house, you're going to be living the rest of your life in luxury. But even if you've got an extra 500 quid coming in through a month, is that not helpful? Got an extra £600 coming through a month, your bills are paid, your road tax is paid, petrol's paid for the month, you know, your takeout money's over there. It's something, isn't it? So I feel there's many cultures that empower each other, but for some reason, our culture doesn't empower each other. We all sit there and point the finger at each other and think, oh, he's not doing well, or this guy got 10 Lambos at the wedding, he got 20 Lambos at the wedding, he got a helicopter flown in at his wedding, he hired this hall, so-and-so came to his wedding. Listen, why can't the Asian community get together as friends and say, do you know what, we need to empower each other. And if you don't want to buy a house, I wouldn't advise buying a house right now, especially with the current climate. Don't buy a house. Get the money together, give it to him as a gift. Get him to get on a course, an online course, learn something. Learn, I don't know, there's many things you can learn nowadays. Coding, copywriting, whatever it is. Get on Andrew Tate's Real World, £50 membership a month of that. I'm not actually a member, but I know it is. And if you're struggling with money, learn something, learn a new skill. That's what I think you should be doing. There's so many other ways to invest money now. I'm not going to say Bitcoin and crypto and trading and Forex. The reason why is because I don't know nothing about that world. It's not something I invest in. I never invested in it. Always thought it was a little bit of a con. I always thought, why is the Federal Reserve going to allow some guy, some Satoshi, whatever his name is, guy, to invent a currency that the whole world can just use without them taking a cut. Where the hell have you guys been living? Are you for real? That is another video. That is, that's a whole nother video. When people talk about Bitcoin, it's just like, I'm thinking, you really think this is allowed? Do you think that the big, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it. I don't want to get sacked. I don't want to sack. No one sacks me. I want to get cancelled. But you know what I'm talking about. Big Federal Reserve, and they're not taking a cut. You think they don't want a cut of this thing? You really think that? Look what happened in the past. I mean, I'm just going to mention, secretly kind of mention some names. There was a dictator in, the place with oil, and he didn't want to trade in a certain particular currency. Look what happened to him. There was another guy in Africa who wanted to open his own banking system. That meant that Big Fed ain't getting the cut. Look what happened to him. Do you see where I'm going with this? That's another video. I'm going to see if I can make that kind of a video without, getting too controversial and getting myself banned on here. But there's a lot of things like that in the world that exist. And if you guys can sit there and think cryptocurrency and FedEx and Forex and all these things are real, then you are very deluded. But the point I'm trying to say is, if you have friends, especially in the Asian community, and there's a big group of you, get on a course. There's so many courses out there to learn a new skill. If they don't buy you a house, learn a new skill. There's so many things you can invest in. And this is something that I've done personally, so I can give you guys advice as well. Take the money back home. Buy land, buy cars, buy houses, buy apartments. You're never going to lose on it. Now, I know a lot of people in the UK are from the village. When I mean the village, I'm talking like Mirpur, Dadial, Azad Kashmir, all them kind of areas. Don't invest there, guys. Trust me, I know enough about Pakistan. I don't know anyone who's where I live. And trust me, if anyone's invested in Islamabad and Beria Town, I know you. If you've invested there, I know you. You want to double, triple your money, go and invest there. I'm not the guy to speak to. Don't contact me about this. I'm not going to help you guys out unless you personally know me. It's not about help. The thing is, I've got the contacts. I've done it myself. I know it works. You can double, triple your money. I know it works. It's not that I'm not going to help you guys. I'm more than happy to help you guys. I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction. But what I don't want you to do is, when you're making investments, I don't want to be liable for anybody's money. That's the thing with me. If I'm there and we're doing business together, then by all means, if I'm putting my money down and I'm saying, yo, gee, this is where my money's going, you put your money down there as well, then of course it's okay. I took the risk and you took the risk as well. But for me to point and say, yo, this is the guy you need to speak to, then I'm liable for your money in a sense. I don't want to do that. I don't want to advise people incorrectly, but I will guarantee you this right now. I've smashed it there. Many people I know have smashed it there, and people are still killing it there right now. I know the economy is taking a bit of a turn for the worse at the minute, but if you want to invest the pound right now, it's a great time to go over there. I feel like this is an advert for Pakistan investment now. And for other people watching this, if you're not from Pakistan or your family isn't from Pakistan, you're thinking, oh, can I go invest in Pakistan? Unfortunately, you can't. The government doesn't allow it. You have to have the Pakistani nationality. You have to have some sort of dual nationality card. So your parents or both your parents have to have been born in Pakistan in order for you to get this card, in order for you to buy land or buy a house or buy a car, whatever it is. So unfortunately, I know this video, like I said, I mentioned at the start, it isn't for the Western world. It was a video that I wanted to make. It was kind of close to my heart in the sense where I saw guys all the time spending the money on their weddings, for their wives and all this kind of... Listen, another thing as well, I'm going to get into the whole wives situation soon. That's another video. I'm just going to kind of just ready to spit some more fire, but I'm going to hold myself for another video. But you're the one who should be calling the shots right there. And keep the wedding small, bro. Unless her dad's paying for the wedding, keep the wedding small. And you and your boys need to pull together, sit down, get on a conference call, or just invite everybody over for the bachelor pad or the bachelor's party, whatever you're going to do. Invite them to say, right, listen, how much are we spending on each other's weddings? 1K, 2K, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount. It could be 500 quid. Right. Where do we think that money is best invested? Should we buy a business between ourselves? Should we do this? Should we do like a committee where everybody kind of chips in the money every single wedding and we keep upgrading each other? If we all sit together, 10 guys, and we have a proper pact between each other, none of this snaky shit, everything's on contract, and we're there solely to make some money, to improve our lives in the future, I don't think it's a bad thing to do. I think more people need to come together, build a group, build a community within your circle of friends, and empower each other and move forward. I have done that with many groups outside my own community, and it's been very beneficial to me. And it's a little bit, it's a bit shameful actually. It's a bit shameful and it's a bit embarrassing that I've had to go and do that outside my own community. Whereas really, I should have had those opportunities from day one. Within my own community, more people should have come to me and said, Fadi, let's do business together. Fadi, let's do this, let's do that. And I saw these people and everybody's just scattered around, not really doing well. And I see other cultures empowering each other, building and stacking. It's not all about money, guys. It's not all about money. It's about status as well. It's about the longevity of the game. It's about having wealth. It's about having health as well. Everything, not just money here. If your mate's fat, call him out on that bullshit. Say, listen, I'm going to book you 3 months with Fadi. That's what you need to be doing. Links in the description. Hopefully this video gave you some value. Please like it.